Hello, my name is Cindy Tawia, and this is a story about my journey of metamorphosis. I've been through a lot in my life, but at the age of 5, one pivotal event changed the course or trajectory of my life. I was living with my father at the time. My mother was a diplomat, and she traveled a lot. And in the course of our travels, we were left with people to care for us. And I remember at 5, walking out with some friends, roaming the neighborhood, and consequently, I fell into the hands of a child abuser who was in the neighborhood. I was molested at 5, and that was jarring. That really shook me. It took a lot out of me. And not only did it take away my innocence of how I viewed the world, but it also changed me emotionally and spiritually. People oftentimes think that these physical acts damage people on the outside or externally or physiologically, but they have deep consequences emotionally and spiritually. Years later, we reunited with my mother who lived in Switzerland. And my mother didn't know that I had internal scars. She gravitated more to my sister because a question was posed to her at that time, or actually my sister shared something with her about my father and the woman that was living with us at the time. See, my father had a living girlfriend who I thought somehow was my mother at the time, and my sister told. When my mother asked me, I denied all knowledge of it. And my mother, from that day on, she ousted me and called me a liar. And it was the most painful thing. So not only had I been through the trauma of abuse or molestation, rejection, neglect, but I also had been rejected by my mother. And that was one of the most traumatic things that I've ever had to live with. What it does is it leads to people pleasing. It leads to permitting people to say and do all kinds of things, and basically not having any boundaries. I have had trauma after trauma, because even after my parents got together, which they did, they got together, they had my brother. It was a lot of beatings that went on, and the beatings, the physical beatings, I didn't call, or didn't feel like they were disciplinary. I felt like it was more so of, I'm getting back at you, I'm angry with you, and it was a lot of beatings. I was beat for not cooking on time. I was beat for not doing the laundry on time. I speak about it matter-of-factly, but it hurts my heart and it's gut-wrenching, to the point that I wanted to commit suicide, and times that I attempted to commit suicide. You know, by age 10, I just had very low self-esteem and didn't know who I was or my value as a human being. I didn't know my self-worth. All I knew was to work, to work, to work, to work to please them, to do the housework, to make sure that I didn't get in trouble, make sure that I told the line. And this has impacted my life tremendously.